Hi, my name's Ollie. I'm an Autodesk certified instructor, and today I really want to drill down into the midpoint constraint, one of the most important constraints within the sketching environment. Now previously we've done a video on all of the different constraints. I'm going to link that up above and down in the description. But I really want to go through some more specifics about the midpoint constraint because it is one of the more commonly used, and there are some little tips and tricks that you can use when going through your sketches. Now, the midpoint constraint is denoted by this triangle icon here. And you can see these popped up in a couple of places in my sketch here. And what the midpoint constraint does is it allows you to lock on and reference the center point of any sketch object. So in this case here, I've got this line that is directly connected to the center point of this top line here. I've also got the center of this line connected to the center of this circle. And both of these have been constrained with the midpoint constraint, which means that if I move this around at all, they will be locked to those central points. That's never going to change. Even if the lines get shorter, longer, everything is always connected to the center. Now this is a really valuable thing for us as designers because the center points of things are often very, very useful to be able to integrate and reference. The most common way that we do this is to put something in the center of something else. So here, if I was drawing a line, I might want this line to go across my rectangle and to be exactly in the center between the top and bottom lines. Now, yes, I could add dimensions and I could specify values if I know what they are. But using a static dimension not only is work for me, but it also makes it more difficult if something were to change later on in the design. So here instead I can use the midpoint constraint to constrain the end of this line to the center of that one. Now because this is horizontal, I know that it's going to be the midpoint on this side as well, but I could also apply it on the other side if I needed to. Even easier than that, I can automatically get Fusion to add constraints for me. So if I remove that line and do it again, this time instead of drawing the line in the wrong place and then constraining it, you'll see that when I hover over this line and I move my mouse down, you'll see a small triangle that appears, again denoting the midpoint constraint. This is Fusion telling me that if I was to click here and then do the same on the other side, find that triangle, those constraints, the midpoint constraint, is automatically being applied. Now that's just another sketch line, so I could then do another hover over and find that midpoint to create more midpoints if I wanted to. But here's a trick you might not have known. You can actually also use the midpoint constraint when dimensioning. So if I create a circle here, for example, I can easily dimension it from this line because that's something that exists already. But if I wanted to dimension it and reference it from the center of this point, the center of this rectangle, there's currently nothing there that I can actually select to reference from and add my dimension from. But if I click and hold Shift at the same time and hover over that point, you'll notice that the midpoint constraint comes up. And I can now click and add my dimension. Not only will it allow me to add that dimension and the specificity of the reference, but it'll also create a point for future use if I wanted to as well. So I could now very easily create a circular pattern, for example, around that central point that's been created and add the parts that I'm looking for all referenced from that central point. But it doesn't stop there. Not only can I do this tip with a dimension, I can also do it with other constraints as well. So if I wanted to make this slot central in this box, I wouldn't need any lines at all, reference or otherwise. I could use the horizontal vertical constraint, hover over my line and press and hold Shift, find that central point, do the same on this top line here, and that will make those 2 points, create them in their midpoints, and then make them vertical to one another. And I could then do the exact same thing in the other direction to bring the slot upwards to be in the middle of the box. So I can select the horizontal vertical constraint again between this point and then again pressing and holding Shift to find the center of this line to bring that slot up to be horizontal. So this slot is now exactly in the center of this box without any reference lines having to be created, because I can press and hold Shift to add this constraint point. So there is a more detailed breakdown of the midpoint constraint and some of the tips that you can use when implementing it. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, please press that thumbs up down below it, subscribe to the channel, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.